Open the box of LFP 5120M. Display of accessories. You will see the accessories in the box. There are 3 communication cables connected to corresponding inverters, a pair of power cables connected in parallel between the batteries, a pair of power cables connected from the inverter to the batteries, wall mounting brackets included. There is a test report, and user manual, a grounding cable, and a communication cable between batteries. Introduction of battery. This is our battery, LFP 5120M and 10240M. There are LED indicators on the front of the battery to show its SOC. This product only supports parallel connection. The maximum can support up to 16 PCS in one cluster. Let us to introduce the part of battery panel. Power switch which can turn on the battery. Negative interface and positive interface. It has a transparent cover on it. We will show you the power cable installation later. The grounding module which has a grounding icon. Unscrew and install the grounding cable. Wi-Fi module which can connect to Wi-Fi to configure mobile app. Inverter port of communication interface between battery and inverter. M/S in and M/S out port of communication interface between batteries. Installation of different cables. Display of power cable. Open the cover. Unscrew the screws. Align the hole position and install the power cable. Display of grounding cable. Unscrew the screws, align the hole position and install the grounding cable. Display of communication cable. Battery wiring demonstration. The DC breaker needs to be connected between the battery and the inverter for safety. Connect the output of negative and positive to the DC breaker. Connect the output of the DC breaker to the inverter. The grid is connected to the AC side of the inverter via the distribution switch. The photovoltaic module is connected to the photovoltaic side of the inverter through a switch. Connect the power cables in parallel between the batteries. Select the communication cable of the inverter. Connect the inverter's port of the battery to the BMS port of the inverter. Connect the M/S communication port between the batteries. Please notice that the M/S out port connected should be the master battery. Connect the grounding cable between the batteries, and then connect it to the inverter. Once connected, ensure that it is connected to the ground through the distribution box. System Operation 1, Load Shifting. First, open the battery, DC breaker, grid, PV, inverter switch. Setting the parameters in the inverter. This is the home page. Select Settings. Touch the tab of System Work Mode. Set the time period. Choose the grid charge. Come back to the home page. You can check battery charging status. Load shifting mode is opened. System Operation 2, Self-Consume and Battery Priority. First, open the battery, DC breaker, PV, inverter switch. Setting the parameters in the inverter. This is the home page. Select Settings. Touch the tab of System Work Mode. Set the time period. shows the grid charge. Come back to the home page. You can check battery charging status. Self-consume and battery priority mode is opened.